Hello students, you're welcome to another edition of the Rock to Source Learning Made Easy. My name is Sheson, and today we are going to be looking at some questions in mathematics. So let's get started. Okay, so the very first question, we are to evaluate correct to four significant figures. 573.06 multiplied by 184.25. So let's do the multiplication. Having done that, that gives us 105,586.305. Don't forget, we are to evaluate this correct to four significant figures. So we are expected to round this off to the nearest hundreds, and that will give us 105,600 point. Don't forget there is a point here, and then we can just round this up to 0. And if you look at this, the correct answer here is option A, 105,600.00. Our option A is the correct answer. Don't forget, whenever we are doing questions on significant figures, if there are 0 preceding numbers, they do not count. But if the 0 are after the numbers, they do count. So the correct answer for number 1 is A. Let's go to number 2. We are to change 432 in base 5 to a number in base 3. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is, let's convert 432 in base 5. Let's convert it to base 10. That's the standard base 0, 1, 2. So this gives us 4 times 5 raised to the power 2. That's 4 times 5 raised to the power 2 plus 3 times 5 raised to the power 1. 3 times 5 raised to the power 1 plus 2 times 5 raised to the power 0. 2 times 5 raised to the power 0. So this gives us 4 times 5 squared is 25 plus 5 raised to the power 1 is 5. So this gives us 15 plus 5 raised to the power 0 is 1. So 1 times 2, that gives us 2. So 4 times 5 gives us 100 plus 15 plus 2. That in all gives us 17. 15 plus 2 is 17. 17 plus 100, that's 117. Now in base 10. Our job is to now convert it. We convert this 170 to base 10 to base 3. How do we do that? Simple. We use our knowledge of a binary system. 117 to base 3. So 3 goes in 117. 3 goes in 11. We give us 3. Remaining 2, and then in 27 that gives us 9, remainder 0. Then we do the same thing. 3 goes here 1, 3 goes in 9, that is 3, and then remainder 0. 3 goes in 13, it goes how many times? That's going to be 4 times, because 3 times 4 is 12, remaining 1. That's remainder 1. Then 3 goes in 4. That is 1. Remaining 1. 3, of course, cannot go in 1. That is 0. Remaining 1. So remember, we have to write it from the bottom up. That's going to be 1, 1, 1, 0, 0. Don't forget in base 3. That is our answer, and that is option B right there. Okay, so let's go to number 3, and the question goes thus: given that A and B are sets such that the number of elements in set A is 8, while the number of elements in set B is given as 12, and the number of elements in set A intersection B is given as 3, we are asked to find the number of elements in set A union B. So the number of elements in set A is 8. The number of elements in set B is 12. The number of elements in A intersection B is 3. Then the question is asking us to calculate the number of elements in set A union B. We remember the simple formula. Number of elements in A union B will be equal to number of elements in A plus number of elements in B minus number of elements in A intersection B. It's as simple as that. And then the number of elements in A will be given as 8 plus the number of elements in B that has been given as 12 minus the number of elements in A intersection B, that is 3. That gives us 8 plus 12 gives us 20. 20 minus 3 gives us 17. That is our answer, option B. Let's go to number 4. Okay, so let's go to number 4. The question says square root of 24 plus square root of 96 minus square root of 600 equals y root 6. And then we are asked to find the value of y. This is under Surds. And all we need to do is, let's break down 24 into some of its factors. 24 can be written as square root of 4 times 6. 6 plus 96 can be written as square root of 16 times 6. And then 600 can be written as square root of 100 times 6. Everything equals y square root of 6. So we can write this one as square root of 4 times square root of 6 plus this could be written as square root of 16 times square root of 6. So also this could be written as square root of 100 times square root of 6, all equal to y root 6. We know that square root of 4 is 2. That's 2 root 6. And square root of 16 is 4. That will give us plus 4 root 6. And square root of 100 is 10. That's 10 root 6. Everything is equal to y root 6. Now we can see root 6 are all common. We can factor it out. And we now have square root of 6 into here. We have 2 plus here. We have 4 minus here. We have 10, all equal to y square root of 6. Now we now have square root of 6 into 2 plus 4 gives us 6. 6 minus 10 will give us minus 4 is equal to y root 6. If you want to write this one by taking minus to the front, we now have minus 4 square root of 6 is equal to here y square root of 6. If we divide both sides by square root of 6, we are left with y equal to minus 4. So the correct answer there is minus 4. Let's go to the next question. Let's go to number 5. Number 5 asks us to evaluate 23 times 54 in mode 7. The simple interpretation of this is, what is 23 multiplied by 54? And when we divide the product of 23 and 54, if you divide the product of 23 and 54 by 7, what will be the remainder? Let's find out what the product of 23 and 54 will be. 23, that will be 23 times 54. That will be equal to, that will give us 1,242. And the next thing now is to divide this product by 7. And then we look at what the remainder will be. 1,242 divided by 7. When divided by 7, it gives us 177. 177 point something. But if you want to convert it to a mixed fraction, 177 times 7 will give us 1,239. And if you subtract 1,279 from 1,242, 1,242, That will give us 3 all over 7, and this is the most important thing there. So when 1242 is divided by 7, it gives us 177 with a remainder of 3. That would be the correct answer there. So the correct answer is option B, 3. Let's go to number 6. 6 asks us to find the value of x in this expression. 4 raised to power 3x is equal to 16 raised to power x plus 1. By using simple law of indices, we have to ensure that both sides are in the same base. We can convert 16 to be the same base as 4. That will give us 4 raised to power 3x is equal to 16 could be written as 4 raised to power 2. Then x plus 1. And this becomes 4 raised to power 3x is equal to 4 raised to power. Then we'll distribute this. 2 times x gives us 2x plus 2 times 1 gives us 2. And since the bases are now equal, the exponent becomes equal. So we now have here 3x is equal to 2x plus 2. When this is brought here, it becomes 3x minus 2x is equal to 2. 3x minus 2x gives us x equal to 2. So the value of x is 2. That is option B. Okay, let's move on to number 7. A weaver bought a bundle of grass for $50, from which he made 8 mats. If each mat was sold for $15, we are to find the percentage profit. The cost price is $50, and from that, the weaver made 8 mats, and each of the 8 mats was sold for $15. So which means the selling price of the 8 mats will give us 8 times, since each of them was sold for $15, that will give us 8 times 15. That's 8 times 15. That gives us $120. $120. Now, to calculate the percentage profit, we know that percentage profit is equal to the selling price minus the cost price all over the cost price multiplied by 100%. Now, the selling price is 120. That's 120 minus the cost price is 50. Divided by the cost price is also 50 times 100%. This gives us 70 minus 120 minus 50 will give us 70. 70 over 50 times 100%. 50 here, 1. 50 here, 2. 70 times 20 plus 2 will give us 140%. That is our answer. Definitely option B. So let's go to number 8. We are to find the 7th term of the arithmetic progression. That's the AP. And the progression is like the minus 6, minus 1, 4, and then the sequence continues like that. First things first, the very first term here, first term, we know first term is always denoted by a small letter a, is equal to the first term here is minus 6. The next thing you are supposed to look for now is what is the common difference. The common difference, that's small letter d, will be what can be added to minus 6 that will give us minus 1. What can be added to minus 1 that will give us positive 4. And we can say here, that's positive 5. Minus 6 plus positive 5 gives us minus 1. So also, positive 5 plus minus 1 gives us positive 4, and so on and so forth. So our common difference is 5. Now that we know that to calculate the 17th term will be easy, we know that number of term is a plus n minus 1 bracket d. So for 17th term now, so that's going to be 17. Remember, n represents the number of term. So that's going to be a plus 17 minus 1 d. So the formula for the 17th term now becomes a plus 17 minus 1. That's 16d. All we need to do is substitute the value of a here and substitute the value of d for this. And that becomes a. That's minus 6. Then plus, that will be 16 times d, which is 5. And our final answer will now be minus 6 plus, now 16 times 5. Very quickly, 16 times 5 gives us 80. 60 times 5 gives us 80. So this becomes minus 6 plus 80. That's like subtracting 6 from 80. That gives us 74. So the correct answer there is option C, 74. Let's go to number 9. Okay, so let's go to number 9. Number 9, m varies directly. M varies directly as n. That's small letter n. And inversely as the square of p. Inversely as the square of p. We are given the value of m to be 3, n to be 2, and p to be 1. We have to find m in terms of n and p. That's simply asking us the law connecting them together. The first thing we do here is to replace the proportionality sign with equality sign by introducing a constant. This will give us m is equal to kn all over p squared, where k is a constant. Then the next thing to do is to make this k the subject of the formula. We can do that by cross multiplying. 1 times kn gives us kn is equal to m times p squared, gives us mp squared. And if we divide both sides by n, we end up with k being equal to mp squared all over n. And then we can now calculate our k. We'll be given the value of m according to the equation, the question to be 3 times the value of p has been given to be 1. So 1 squared is still 1 all over n. The value of n has been given to be 2. So 3 times 1 is still 3 all over 2. So the value of k is 3 all over 2. Then we come back here and substitute back the value of k. So this expression becomes m is equal to, don't forget, kn all over p squared can be written as k times n squared all over all over p squared. That's another way of writing kn all over p squared, so that our m now becomes k, that's 3 over 2, that's 3 all over 2 times n all over p squared. And our final answer becomes 3 times n, that's 3n, all over 2 times p squared, that's 2p squared. That is the answer. M is equal to 3n all over 2p squared, and that is option A. Let's go to number 10. Number 10 says if A is equal to 3 and B is equal to minus 7, our A is equal to 3 and B is equal to minus 7. We're asked to evaluate 5B plus A plus B all squared all over A minus B all squared. All we have to do is substitute. This becomes 5 times B, our B is minus 7, plus A, that's 3, plus B, and B is minus 7, that's minus 7, all over A minus B. A is 3, minus, don't forget B is minus 7, that's minus 7 all squared. This gives us 5 times minus 7 minus 35 plus times minus gives us minus 3 minus 7 will give us minus 4. That's minus 4 all squared. Don't forget, please. All squared all over. Now here, minus times minus gives us plus. So 3 plus 7 gives us 10. 10 squared will give us 100. If you continue here, then we now have minus 35 plus minus 4 squared will give us positive 16 all over 100. And if you subtract 16 from 35, that's 35 minus 16, that gives us minus 19. Don't forget, minus 35 plus 16, that's minus 19 divided by 100. And that will give us minus 0.19. And if you look at our option, that is option C. Option C is the correct answer. Let's go to number 11. Number 11 says 3 boys shared 10,500 in the ratio 6, ratio 7, ratio 8. We are expected to find the largest share. First things first, we are supposed to add these together. That's 6 plus 7 plus 8. So 7 plus 8 is 15. 15 plus 6 gives us 21. The largest share now. Largest share will be the highest ratio, which is 8, all over the sum of the ratio, that's 21, multiplied by the total sum of the money that was shared, that is 10,500. And that will give us, so if we use our calculator, 8 times 10,500 divided by 21, that will give us 4,000. That will give us 4,000. And if you look at the option, that is option A. So for number 11, option A is the correct answer. Let's go to number 12. The length of a piece of stick is 1.75 meters. So which means that is the correct, that is the actual length. Actual length is 1.75 meters. Now, a boy measured it as 1.80 meter. We have to find the percentage error. Don't forget the actual length, the correct length is 1.7 meters. So the error made by the boy will be 1.80 meter minus 1.75 meters. And that will translate to 1.8 meter. That's 1.8 minus 1.75. That gives us 0.05, 0.05 meter. Don't forget, the formula for percentage error is equal to the error all over the actual length multiplied by 100%. The error, as we calculated it, is 0.05, 0.05 divided by the actual length is 1.75 multiplied by 100%. If you use a calculator, 0.05 divided by 1.75, and we multiply by 100, that will give us 2.85. That will give us 2.857%. But if you look at the options, we will see that the options are left in form of a mixed fraction. All we need to do is just take a look at them. We can see the correct answer now is 2 whole number 6/7, because if you look at 6 divided by 7, that will give us 0.857. So that's the correct answer. And number 13 says if 5x plus 3y equals 4, and 5x minus 3y equals 2. What will be the value of 25x squared minus 9y squared? That is what we are expected to solve for. Now, you might want to think this is a simultaneous, at least these two are simultaneous equations. You might be tempted to solve for x, solve for y, and then input here. But there's no point in going through that long route. We can simply make use of difference of 2 squared. This equation here can be written as 5 squared, that's 25, x squared here, minus 9 can be written as 3 squared, y squared. Now, it is similar to this identity, a squared minus b squared. This is difference of 2 squares, and we know this is equal to a plus b times a minus b. If you use the same identity here, then we can now have 5x plus 3y times 5x minus 3y. As a matter of fact, if you reopen this bracket, we will get this one back. So, and if you look at this, 5x plus 3y has been given as 4. So we represent this one by 4. Then times 5x minus 3y, that 5x minus 3y has been given as 2. Multiplied by 2, and everything gives us 8. So 8 is our correct answer, option D. Okay, number 14. Mary have $3 more than Ben, but $5 less than Jane. If Mary has X dollars, how much does Jane and Ben have altogether? Let's put the question in proper perspective. For Mary, let's represent the amount Mary has by M. And we know later we are going to use that particular M as X, because we are told in the question that Mary has X dollar. So M or X. Then for Jane, let's make use of J. And then for Ben, let's make use. For Jane, we make use of J. And then for Ben, we make use of B. Now, if we interpret the question, Mary have $3 more than Ben. So which means Mary, which is M, is equal to, Mary has $3 more than Ben. This is Ben. That's going to be B plus $3. That's 3. Let's take note of that. Not only that, we are told that Mary has $5 less than Jane. So, which means that Mary has $5 less than Jane. So that's going to be J minus 5. Now, if Mary has X dollars, that's what I meant earlier, that we can interchange this M and X here. So if we substitute M with X here, so this one now becomes X and this one becomes X, because according to the question, that is the amount of dollar that Mary has. We are now asked to calculate how much does Jane, that's J, and Ben, that's B, how much do they have in common? Let's do it this way. If you make B here, the same formula, let's take 3 to the other side. That becomes X minus 3 is equal to B. That's the amount that Ben has. If you bring this minus 5 here, then we isolate the J here. The equation here becomes J now is equal to, or if you do like this one comes here, becomes X, when minus 5 crosses the equal to and comes here, it becomes plus 5 is equal to J. That is the amount that Jane has. Now, how much do they have altogether? That is the sum of B and J. So B plus J becomes X minus 3 plus X plus 5. So X plus X becomes 2X minus 3 plus 5 becomes 2. So the amount in dollars that Ben and Jane have together now is 2X plus 2. And if you look at the options, that is option D. Let's go to number 15. Consider the statement P, Stephen is intelligent, and statement Q, Stephen is good at mathematics. Now, if P, this is under logic, which of the following is a valid conclusion? Remember, statement P says Stephen is intelligent, and statement Q says Stephen is good at mathematics. The only valid conclusion here will be if Stephen is intelligent, then Stephen is also good at mathematics. And not only that, the reverse is also true, which is the correct answer here. If Stephen is not intelligent, then Stephen is not good at mathematics either. And if you look at option B, Stephen is not good at mathematics, then E is not intelligent. The correct answer is B. Let's go to number 6. Value of P, we make the expression, this is the expression x squared minus 4x plus P. What value of P here? We make this expression a perfect square. Whenever we see a question like this, all we need to do is we take the coefficient of x, which is minus 4 in this case. We divide it by 2. After doing that, we square everything. So minus 4 divided by 2 gives us minus 2. Minus 2 squared gives us positive 4. So the value of P that will make this expression a perfect square is 4. That is option C. Option C is the correct answer. Okay, so let's go to number 17. We have to find the value of x such that 1 over x plus 4 over 3x minus 5 over 6x plus 1 is equal to 0. We want to find out what will be the value of x that makes this expression to be equal to 0. To make it easy, we can just make this one over 1. And the next thing is, let's take the LCM. LCM of x, 3x, 6x, and 1. We can make it to be 6x. So x goes in 6x, that's 6, plus 3x goes in 6x, that's 2. 2 times 4, that's 8, minus 6x goes to 6x, that's 1. 1 times 5, that's 5. Then plus 1 goes in 6x, that's 6x. 6x times 1, that's 6x. Everything is equal to 0. And the next thing we can do here now is to cross multiply. If you cross multiply, then before you cross multiplying, we can have to reduce this one into a sizable form. 8 plus, or we can say 8 minus 5, that gives us 3. 3 plus 6 here, that gives us 9. 9 plus 6x all over 6x, everything is equal to 0. 0 over 1. Now, you can cross multiply. If you cross multiply here, we now have 9 plus 6x multiplied by 1, giving us 9 plus 6x is equal to 6x multiplied by 0. Anything multiplied by 0 gives 0. Now we can take 9 to the other side. That becomes 6x is equal to minus 9. And then we can go ahead and divide both sides by 6 to isolate x. So here, then x becomes 3 here, that's going to be 3, and 3 here, that's going to be 2. That's minus 3 all over 2. And the correct answer is option C, minus 3 over 2. Let's go to number 18, please. Number 18 expects us to find the first quarter of this set of numbers. The very first thing we need to do is to arrange them either in ascending order or in descending order. Let's go with ascending order, starting from the lowest one there. That is 6. 6. After 6, we have 7. There are 3 7s. That's 7, 7, 7. After that, we have 3 8s as well. That's 8, 8, 8. How many 9 do we have? We have just 2. That's 9, 9. Then we don't have 10, do we? We don't. And then we have 11. 11. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now that we've arranged the numbers in ascending order, the first quartile is n all over 4th term, where n is the number of terms that we have here. How many are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's going to be n, that's 10, all over 4th term. 4th term. And 10 divided by 4 gives us 2.5 term. 2.5 term. And if you look at this is the first term, this is the second term. 2.5 is going to be in between. And because of that, what do? We take the two of them, we add them together, and we divide by 2. So 2.5 term will be 7 plus 7 divided by 2. That will still give us 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 divided by 2 will give us 7. So the first quartile is 7. That is option B, 7.0. Let's go to number 19. Okay, let's go to number 19. We can see the diagram on the board. In the diagram, line XY is equal to line YZ. We can see that an angle XYZ is equal to 130 degrees. We're asked to find the value of Y. If I recreate the diagram, it will look like this. This is Y, this is X, and this is Z. And this is Z, and this is the angle Y we are looking for. These are equal, and this is 130 degrees. Now, if you want to find the angle here, all we need to do is to find what this angle is and what this angle is. Because when we get this angle, we can subtract it from 180 degrees, which is angle on a straight line, to find the value of our angle Y. And since these sides are equal, we know these are the base angle of an isosceles triangle. So if you represent this by X, then this will also be X. And the sum of 130 X and X, that the sum of angles in a triangle, will be equal to 180 degrees. So we have X plus 130 degree, that's x degree, equal to 180 degree. This gives us 2x plus 130 degree is equal to 180 degree. And 2x is equal to, if this one is taken to the opposite side, 180 degree minus 130 degree. And 2x degree will now give us 180 minus 130 will give us 50 degree. That's 50 degree. And we divide by 2. So x will now give us 25 degree. And if x is 25 degree, it means the angle y here is 180 degree minus x, because angle on the straight line is 180 degree. And we know that from here to here is 25. So this angle will now be 180 minus 25. So our y, if we do that here, y will now be 180 degree minus 25 degree. And y will now be 180 degree minus 25 degree will give us 155 degree. That is option D. Let's go to number 20. An exterior angle of a regular polygon is 22.5 degree. Find the number of side exterior angle. Exterior angle is 22.5 degree. We're asked to look for the number of side. If n is equal to number of sides, we know that the sum of the exterior angle of a regular polygon is equal to 360 degrees. So, which means that exterior angle is equal to 360 degree divided by the number of side, which is n. So, if you want to make n, this is a formula, n now becomes 360 degree divided by each exterior angle. That will become 360 degree divided by 22.5 degree. And if you use a calculator, 360 divided by 22.5 gives us 16. So n is equal to 16. And don't forget, n is the number of sides. So the number of sides of this polygon, this regular polygon, is 16. That is option D. Okay, so let's take a look at the next question, number 21. Number 21 is based on the diagram on the board. We are supposed to use the diagram on the board to calculate the length of the minor arc PRQ. If I recreate the diagram here, if this is the center of the cycle, then this P, this is R, this Q, and S, and the angle here is 150 degree. And of course, the radius of the cycle is 4.2 centimeters. We have to use the information to answer questions 21. So question 21 asks us to find the length of the minor arc PRQ. PRQ. This is the minor arc. This is, of course, the major arc. So, and we remember, we still know the formula for calculating the length of an arc. Length of an arc can be calculated by using the formula theta all over 360 degree times 2 pi r. Theta is the angle subtended at the center by the arc, then r is the radius. So if you substitute theta is 150, that's 150 degree all over 360 degree times 2 times pi will be told to take pi to be 22 all over 7, then times r. Radius is 4.2 over 1. So if we use a calculator, then we can multiply 150 multiplied by 2 times 22 times 4.2. That gives us 27720. And if you multiply 360 by 7, that gives us 360 times 7. That will give us 2,520, all in centimeter. And if you divide now, that will be 27720 divided by 2520. That will give us 11. That's 11 centimeters. So the length of the arc PRQ is 11 centimeters. That is option A in the option. Let's go to number 22. We have to find the area of sector OPSQ. That is O. The center OPSQ. That's talking about the area of this sector. Area of this sector, everything here. The shaded portion here, that is the area we are expected to calculate. And we can't do that without knowing what the angle is here. Since the angle here is 150, and we know the angle at a point is 360 degrees. So the angle here will be 360 minus 2 minus 150. That will be 360 minus 150. That's going to be 210. So the angle here will be 210 degrees. And now that we know the angle subtended here, we can go ahead and calculate what the area of this major sector, because this is the major sector, this is the minor sector. So using the simple formula for area of a sector, area of a sector is equal to, that's theta over 360 degree times pi r squared. Theta is the angle subtended. We calculated it by getting 210. That's 210 all over 360 times pi, that's 22 all over 7 times r squared, that's the radius. Radius is 4.2, that's times 4.2 squared. Now, if we make use of our calculator, that will be 210 times 22 times 4.2 times 4.2. That will give us 81496.8 divided by 36 times 7 will give us 2520. Don't forget the unit centimeter squared. So if we divide, we are going to get 32.34 centimeter squared. And if you look at the option 32.34 centimeter squared, that is option D. Let's move on to the next question, number 23 now. A ladder 6 meters long leans against a vertical wall at an angle of 50 degrees to the horizontal. How high up the wall does the ladder reach? So let's say this is the wall, and this is the horizontal ground, and this is the ladder. Now we are told the ladder is 6 meters long. So this is a ladder 6 meters long, and this is the wall on which the ladder leans. And we are told that the angle that the ladder makes, a ladder 6 meters long leans against a vertical wall at an angle of 53 degrees to the horizontal. This is the horizontal, so the angle here is 53 degrees. Then we are asked to calculate how high up the wall does the ladder reach. So that's here to this. That's h. That is how high from the foot of the wall that the ladder reached. And if you look at this, we simply make use of our SOHCAHTOA. This is opposite all over hypotenuse. That is sine. So that sine 53 degrees is equal to the opposite, that is h, all over the hypotenuse, that is 6. And if you find sine 53 degrees, sine 53 degrees will give us 0.7986 is equal to h all over 6. We can say this over 1, and if you cross multiply, 1 times h gives us h is equal to 6 times this. That's 6 times 0.7986, all in meters. H now would be, if you multiply by 6, that gives us 6 times 0.7986, and that will give us 4.7916. And if you look at the option, the correct answer would be h is equal to 4.792. This approximated to 2 meters. That is option C. So the correct option is C. Number 24. A cylinder open at one end has a radius of 3.5 centimeters. So the radius of the cylinder R is 3.5 cm and a height of 8 centimeters. H is equal to 8 centimeters. We have to calculate the total surface area. Don't forget the cylinder was opened at one end. So the total surface area of a cylinder open at one end is 2 pi r h plus pi r squared. And since pi and r are constant, so we can bring them out and say this one is pi r into, then this one will become 2h plus r. I think it's more simpler this way. So we can now substitute. We know our pi, according to the equation, is 22 over 7. That's 22 all over 7 times our radius is 3.5. That is 3.5 into h is 8. So 2 times 8 is 16 plus r, 3.5. That's 3.5. So this gives us, if we multiply 22 times 3.5, 22 times 3.5, it gives us 77. That's 77 all over 7. Then times, then here 16 plus 3.5 gives us 19 point, that will be 19.19. Yes, 19.5. Then this 7 goes here, this will be 11. Then we now have 11 times 19.5. 11 times 19.5. That gives us 214.5 centimeter squared. So let's look at the option 214.5 centimeter squared. That is option D. Option D is the correct answer. Okay, let's look at number 25. We are given the diagram on the board, and the diagram can be reproduced here. This diagram, this is W, this is Z, and this is right angle. So also this is right angle, this is Y, and this is X. Okay, so this is 4 centimeters. This is 3 centimeters. This is 12 centimeters. We are asked to calculate the perimeter WX, YZ. All we need to do is to find this and this. Rather. When we find this, we just add this, and this. And it is easier because for us to know what WX is, we just need to find what this is. And since this is a right angle, we can use Pythagoras theorem to calculate WY. So we can say WY all squared is equal to 4 squared plus 3 squared. And this will give us 4 squared is 16 plus 3 squared is 9. So WY all squared is equal to 16 plus 9, that's 25. And if you take the square root of both sides, then WY will be square root of 25. That will give us 5, plus or minus 5, but we know that length cannot be negative. So here, we calculated this one to be 5. Now that we know what this is, we can use the same Pythagoras theorem to find WX. So our WX all squared will be square of this plus square of this. That will be 5 squared plus the square of this, and then plus the square of this, which is 12 squared. So WX all squared is equal to 5 squared, that's 25, plus 12 squared, that's 144. 25 plus 144, 169. And if you take the square root of both sides, WS gives us square root of 169. That will give us 13. So which means this is going to give us 13. And then we can finally do what the question expects us to do. And that's to find the perimeter WXYZ. The perimeter is talking about that is the length surrounding all of this shape. That's going to be 13, the perimeter. Now we give us 13 plus 12 plus 3 plus 4. And if we add everything together, 12 plus 13 plus 12 will give us 25. 3 plus 4 will give us 7. And if we add 7 to this, we are going to have here, that's 2, and this one becomes 3. That is 32 centimeters. The correct answer is B, 32 centimeters.